line up. Remember, when we walk up and go into this building, we're all going to be chanting Jordelle Richardson's name. We're going to say it one time when you go over that threshold, and then you're going to go ahead and take your seat. We're going to participate in this event, but we're going to do so in a way that's militant and making sure that we're still maintaining the demands of the family, which are to indict and fire the officers who killed Jordelle Richardson, who are Rock Richardson and James Snap, and have an immediate firing of the interim police chief, Art Acevedo. So one more time, when we ask Acevedo if he's going to resign and he inevitably says no, that is the point where we stand up and we leave. When we leave, we're going to go ahead and reconvene out here, and we're going to go ahead and continue the rally that we've been having. We have some folks from PSL who are going to speak. We have some folks from DAPAC who are going to speak. We're going to invite the family to speak one more time, and then we're going to go ahead and close. So if I could go ahead and have everybody go ahead and file in behind these folks with the banner, go ahead, and let's go ahead and get behind them. If we could have the family go towards the front, please. And then if folks could file in behind them. Yeah, go ahead. If anybody needs some water going to the event, hey, go ahead and grab some right here. We have some nice ice water. We have some...
Okay, so everybody, we're at a meeting. Justice for Jordelle Richardson, the 14-year-old that was unceremoniously murdered by an Aurora police officer.
Black lives, they matter here.
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 Black lives,
They matter here.
Black lives, they matter here.
Black lives, they matter here.
Say his name.
Jordelle Richardson.
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 So we are on our way inside to call for the resignation of Acevedo, which we have already, Kata and I have already called for the resignation of Acevedo. And also we want the cops that shot, or the cop that shot him, and the other cops that were complicit in standing by doing nothing to quickly get fired and charged with the crimes.
Jordelle Richardson. Jordelle Richardson. Jordelle Richardson.
Jordelle Richardson.
Jordelle Richardson.
Jordelle Richardson.
Jordelle Richardson. Jordelle Richardson. Jordelle Richardson.
Jordelle Richardson.
Say his name.
Jordelle Richardson.
One more time.
Jordelle Richardson.
Thank you very much for joining us. We have some seats over here also. Fill in, we are family this evening. And we want everyone to have their seat and have their say. Yes, we have two open seats here. We have a seat, some seats there. So please do not hesitate to find a seat and get as comfortable as you can as we begin this conversation. For those who were not in the room when I introduced myself, my name is Leslie Summey. I am Arapahoe County Commissioner for District 4. We are in District 5, which is Arapahoe County Commissioner Bill Holan's district. He is unable to be with us this evening, but we are here. I happen to be the very first African American County Commissioner in Arapahoe County. Thank you very much. And because of that, I am honored to be able to bring a different perspective to a lot of the conversations that we have had. We are here with our Arapahoe County Subcommittee of the Justice Coordinating Committee, we focus on racial equity in the criminal justice system. I'm going to let Commissioner Jeff Baker in a moment explain more about that and more about who he is and some other folks in the room. But one of the things that is interesting about that particular subcommittee is that it just started in 2021. And I happen to be sitting as a community member. I did not hold an elected office. I sat on that committee as a mother of 5 African-American children, and a wife and a former member of the United States Navy. One of the things that I share with people about my own story that I have been able to use is that 2 of my children started their educations in Head Start. I know what it looks like to be housing insecure. I know what it looks like to be worried that I don't have enough money to pay the bills. And yet and still, because of our Head Start teacher, many years ago, my children have been able to experience things that they would never have been able to experience because we listened to what she told us to do. We now have 3 college graduates and 2 that are in college, and one of the most amazing things about being a county commissioner for me is that I was able to be at our goals program, and when they opened the goals program opened an early childhood education center. They talked about having a vision to create a better life and overcome housing insecurity and homelessness, and able to take that 2-generation approach to break the cycle of poverty. And so as all of our guest speakers were talking about all of the things that they see and the things that they've been able to accomplish and how wonderful it is that we are able to help these families, I was able to stand up there and say, I know what it looks like to be one of these families, because that was me. And one of the most important things, and I'm just going to put a plug in for the goals program, one of the most important things that any mother in this room knows is that when you have a child, you have a toddler, you have a preschooler, you have to give them a bath. They don't take showers, they need baths, they need that bath time. And one of the things that the goals program has is bathtubs. And so know that there is someone who is working in Arapahoe County that is working for the disenfranchised and the marginalized and African Americans and people of color and bringing that lens. And so I just want to thank you all for having me here. I'm sorry I took up more time, but I want to make sure everybody got to hear what I had to say.
14 years old.
So I'm going to pass the mic to Commissioner Jeff Baker.
Hi, and I'll add my welcome to everyone here tonight. I'm Jeff Baker. I represent District 3. My district is everything east of E470. So I represent the communities of Watkins, Bennett, Byers, Strasburg, and Deer Trail, the more rural part of Arapahoe County. So I want to just say that I'm the chair of this subcommittee. I've been attending the, and let's explain that a little bit. This is the Racial Equity Subcommittee, but the umbrella committee that is above this is the Arapahoe County Justice Coordinating Committee, and that has been in effect for about 15 years. There are 2 subcommittees. We have the Racial Equity Subcommittee, and we have the Behavioral Health Subcommittee. So if you want to get involved in that, please let us know your name tonight. We'd be happy to have you involved in either of those subcommittees. We do have membership in the Arapahoe County Justice Coordinating Committee, but it's a way for us. It started out 15 years ago talking about the courtrooms and the jail and what we were going to do to be able to function. And it morphed into something else, and I'm very happy to say it morphed into these subcommittees that are making a difference in Arapahoe County today. Our role is to listen tonight. We want to hear from people. We were struggling with how can we hear from the community that the criminal justice system has affected. And here, really, we've got the people in the room who can make a difference. People who can make difference in policies, difference in procedures, from the smallest to the largest. And they're here, they're willing to listen and make a difference. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to our sheriff, Tyler Brown.
Well, good evening, welcome. I'm excited for everybody that's here to participate. A little bit about me, obviously I'm the sheriff of Arapahoe County. We serve the entirety of the county, all 700,000 residents who live here in Arapahoe County. We run the detention center. I grew up here, so this is important to me, and it's vitally important that we hear your voices. And so my introduction is going to be very short, but I am a community member as well. My kids are growing up in the same area that I grew up in Southeast Aurora, and we want to continue to make this a better place. And hearing your voices is important to us, and it's a way that we can continue to make changes. So I look forward to the interaction and where we go from here. And this is just a jumping off point. And so thank you for allowing me to be here to participate in this, and I will hand it over to District Attorney Jordelle.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you for being here. Sorry. I want to echo what the sheriff just said and what the commissioners before me had said, that tonight is about listening, and it's about being present and making sure that something maybe comes out of this subcommittee. So I'm the district attorney for the 18th Judicial District. I represent Arapahoe, Douglas, Elbert, and Lincoln counties. That is the most populated judicial district in the state of Colorado. There's probably about 1.1 million people in this district. It's a big one. My job is to seek justice in court, to take our deputy DAs and have them take cases to represent the people and to fight for justice for victims. I got involved with this subcommittee when it first started in 2021, and it has spurred a lot of growth in many different ways. We may talk about it tonight, and I look forward to where it goes. But one of the things that kind of came out of this subcommittee to begin with was our Second Chances warrant clearing events, where we recognized that there are people out there that had warrants for some low-level offenses that didn't need, of course, to be arrested and go through that process, to find a way to equitably resolve those kinds of issues. So I know many people come to government meetings and think, hey, that's a lot of talk, but maybe not a lot of action or things that come out of it. I just want to tell you that this subcommittee has produced some tangible results. I look forward to the conversation tonight, I look forward to listening, and again, thank you all for being here. Leslie, who should I pass on to next?
I'm David Kaplan. I am the head of the Arapahoe County Public Defender's Office, part of the Colorado State Public Defender's Office. We represent folks who are charged criminally in Arapahoe County with jailable offenses at the state level. And so we're here today to listen and happy to answer questions folks have. I'm going to pass the mic off to Chief Acevedo from the Aurora Police Department.
Good evening. My name is Art Acevedo. I'm the interim police chief in Aurora. I got here on December 5th of last year, and I look forward to hearing from everyone this evening.
All right, thank you. Thank you everyone for coming out tonight. I am Candace Bailey. I did not move this microphone. I first want to say, community, I am so happy to see each and every one of you here. This is exactly what is needed in our community. This is the reason that I joined this committee, so that everyone's voices can be heard and that we all have an opportunity to have conversations with one another. We are getting nowhere with the current cycle that we are enduring in our community, and something has to change. But it means that we must work together. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little, first we're going to do a land acknowledgement and acknowledge that the land that we are sitting on is the Arapahoe Ute Cheyenne land. We're going to have a couple minutes of silence to honor the people who lost their lives on this land, who were the original inhabitants. Thank you so much for honoring this space for those who came before us and the land that we stand on. Next, we're going to talk a little bit about the role of the subcommittee. As Commissioner Baker wrote in, I want him to explain what it is that we are attempting to do with this committee and why it's critical in this space for each of us. Commissioner Baker.
Thank you, Candace. Anybody here ever been lectured to? We get lectured all the time, don't we? This is time for us, instead of lecturing, to give people voice. It's important that we hear. And like I said before, this committee has had some success, but it can do so much more. That's why we wanted community input on what we should be doing. We wanted to hear, where are the obstacles? Where are the bottlenecks? Where are, in this criminal justice system, where are the things that when you went through, if you did, what can be improved? And I mean that sincerely. What can be improved? What needs to stop? What needs to maybe continue and be funded better? Those are the types of things that we're looking for in this subcommittee. And we've been struggling. We had one event, it wasn't well organized. It was organized well, but it wasn't well advertised. So we didn't have the attendance that we wanted. This is truly heartening for me. This is seeing this many people here wanting their voices to be heard is truly a remarkable feat. And I thank you all for being here, but that's really what we're here for, is let's find out where we can make changes. All right?
Family, we have a commitment to reform. We know that, especially for some of us in the room, for people of color, for the marginalized and the disenfranchised, we come from a system, or we've been placed in a system that is always working against us, or is always so much harder for us to get from point A to point B. I like to say, as we have honored our Cheyenne Arapaho, whose land we are on now, I like to say that if you are black in this room, if you are black in this room, you come from people who had to make it through the Middle Passage. Thank you. Therefore, somebody in your family line was strong enough to make it through. We are strong enough to make it through years and years and years and years and years. At this point, we are at a time in the United States of America. As I said earlier, as a mother, I am angry that I have to teach my children, my 24-year-old son who runs 60, 70 miles a week, I have to teach him to be safe when he is outside running because he may not come back home. I have to teach my children the same thing in 2023 that my parents had to teach me in the 60s. So the commitment that we make now in this particular subcommittee is to change for good, is to make sure that we don't have to repeat lessons, that we don't have to see the things that our ancestors saw anymore. We should be able in Arapahoe County to thrive, every one of us, and to be healthy and safe and happy. We need that. So that is our commitment in this racial equity subcommittee. That is why we exist, to challenge the systems, to create the change, and to do better.
So what we're looking for and how we want this process to proceed, listening, we want to listen. I want the people in this room to hear your voices. And I want to elevate your voices. I am a champion for community. I think I know just about every person in this room personally, interestingly enough. I am the conduit for us to make a change and for it no longer to be conversations, but actual action. So first, I want to talk a little bit about how this process is going to work tonight, okay? Everyone will have the opportunity to talk. I'm asking that you cap yourself at 2 minutes, just like City Council, you've all done it. I know you have. So that we have everyone with the capability of speaking tonight. But I have an extra step to ask of you. There are some pads that are on these tables by that door. Okay. And on those pads, there is one that says issue, and there is one that says solution. I need to gather that data, and I'm not talking just to community, I am talking to everyone in this room. I don't care what your title is or how you walked in here, what uniform, that matters not to me. I want to know what the issues are and what the solutions are that you bring to the table. Generally, we have conversations where people are yelling and everybody thinks they have the answer, but we need to gather that data right now to find out what are we facing in our community and what are the tangible solutions that we can work towards together. So tonight, how this is going to work is, first of all, there's some rules of engagement up here that I'm gonna read off. We're gonna engage in open and honest conversation and dialogue. I don't need you to cut your vernacular. I don't need you to do anything. I want you to show up exactly as who you are, angry and all, because I hear it. Be fully present and participate at your level. That means if you don't want to talk, I want you to come write something down. Everybody's not a talker, and there's a camera in the room. That may make some people hesitant to have a conversation in this space. I don't want that to hinder you from your voice being heard by this committee at all. I want you to write it down. Speak from personal experience. Use I statements. I have an issue if we are not using human-centered language, which means it is not homelessness, it is a person experiencing homelessness. So you talk from a perspective where the person comes first in this space. Be open to new perspectives. We have to begin talking to each other, or this just continues, and we have to stop it. Take risks. Lean into discomfort and be brave, and I am talking to my systems people when I say that. I need you to be brave and to lean into this and be comfortably uncomfortable. I expect it from you. Respect and maintain confidentiality. What's learned here leaves here. What is said here stays here. And what that means is we're not going to repeat each other's stories outside of this room. But if you learn something, you take that and you give it to the next person. And lastly, we need to create a space of grace so that we are meeting each other where we are. Period. That means you listen respectfully, no matter how you feel about what is being said in this space, and allow everyone to have their voice for the very first time in this community in a way that makes sense. So as we begin this open conversation, and if people would like to comment, Ames, if you would like to give a card out to people, if they'd like to make a comment, so we have some type of order and it's not just everybody yelling over each other. And then, as your comment ends at the end of the 2 minutes, the people from systems have a green sign. And if what you have talked about intersects in their system, they will hold that green sign up and they will make a comment to you. They will give you a resource, or maybe they won't. Maybe they will just STF you and not say anything, but for the first time actually hear you, okay? If you do decide to make a comment as a systems person, I am asking that you keep it at 90 seconds. I don't want retaliatory conversation. I require solutions-based conversation. Whether that is a referral to someone, I don't know, but I don't want a combative conversation happening. This is specifically to be listening. Now I'm going to ask the room to do something very important. Most of us are sitting by someone we know. I want everyone to get up and shuffle the space that you are in, so you are sitting by someone you do not know. Systems people, I am specifically talking to you.
Hey. What's up? What's up?
What's your name? There's chairs up here. You want to sit on this side? Move around. Let them sit by you. Make them comfortably uncomfortable. That is what this is for. They exist in our space. They need to know who you are. Find a seat.
Likewise.
Don't sit in the corner on half time. You want me to throw that?
I'd like to welcome everybody on in. We're at a meeting, racial justice meeting. These people that are behind me and on the side of me are here to express their feelings about what happened with Jordelle Richardson. I'm here in support as well. And we want the chief to resign, and we also want justice for Jordelle Richardson.
Got number one.
If you're interested in speaking, if you could raise your hand, I can.
Come on, if y'all want to speak, let's just, okay. Okay, we'll start, I just saw your hand first, I'm gonna let you start. Please start with, if you're comfortable saying your name, and then you can talk. If not, don't worry about a name if you'd like to remain anonymous.
Good evening, everybody. I just want to introduce myself. My name is Jamie Jackson, and I am the Criminal Justice Chair for the Aurora NAACP. And our goal is to really bridge the gap and enhance communication between the community and law enforcement and the criminal justice systems. We want to repair the trust that has been lost. We want to build those relationships, and we have to do that through effective communication. And so I'm really, really pleased to be here this evening to see the community connecting with the people who are working in these various systems. And if you are interested in joining the Aurora chapter of the NAACP, please don't hesitate to come find me. Thank you.
Hello, all. I am Sharice from Chic. Chic is collaborative healing initiative within communities. And I see a lot of hurting people in here. So I don't want to just tell you guys my role. I'm going to tell you that in my role, I've been this hurt person. I've been on this side where I didn't trust everybody over here. I've been on this side when I didn't trust everybody over here. I had a 26-year sentence, and I was mad at the world. And the reason why I'm speaking up right now is because I see everybody so mad and they're thinking that this is going to be the solution. When I'm telling you, all it is brain power. Take your time to think of a process of what we can do as a community that's completely different. Because I was a victim of domestic violence. And my domestic violence ended up taking my kid's father, and my kid's father is now deceased, and I had a 26-year sentence, and Arapahoes who gave it to me. I just want you guys to know that. On top of that, I had a son who drowned in Arapahoe County. In Arapahoe County, even though there was somebody else babysitting my son, guess what Arapahoe County said? I was responsible for my son because he's mine, and I chose him. When I got out of prison, I was still mad at Arapahoe County. August 3rd, 2011, I remember that day of my life. Begging, pleading, and telling everybody I want a chance. Second chance programs for them saying didn't exist. I wanted help. I wanted recovery. I was an abused mother, but I went from the victim to the survivor to the defendant, and guess what? I was so mad at everybody. But then I had to go back. What did I do? Where did I go wrong? Whose fault was it? What did I endure? Why wasn't I a voice? Broken silence is what ends up getting me into the situation that now I'm finally able to use my story to help others. I can't mend broken hearts, but I can help because the heal people, and the hurt people, right? We could all come in and attack this person, and blame. But sometimes we gotta sit back and see where are we to blame? What can we do different as parents? Black community, white community, everybody wants to say justice for this person, justice for this person. It shouldn't take somebody to lose their life for everybody to come together and collaborate and want to do something different. life should be important to you, all of us, all the time. That's what we should be fighting for all the time. It shouldn't take a life for that life to be respected. Because I'm one of the ones, don't bring me flowers to the grave you put me in. Right. We have got to be fair. And I'm telling you, I've been on both sides of the fence. I was a broken individual. I'm still healing. I reach out. I got Todd's and Tyler. I mean, everybody who you would think that black people, sometimes you guys just look and be like, oh, that color, they don't give a fuck about us. And I'm going to say it exactly how people say it. But sometimes it's just that they don't really understand us.
30 seconds.
Sometimes they don't understand when our kids are going into schools and they're hungry and they're taking it out on one another because everything they went through at home. What can we change at home and speak up for the help that you need there so that we can help you in every other area? Here, Ken.
You get back to number one. Like the person with card number one, card number one.
All right.
I thank everybody coming out here today. I appreciate y'all coming. I'm gonna be straight to the point. My name is Keith H. Parker. Tonight I'm here as a community organizer and policy director for Denver Justice Project. The 810, I have been off and on in that area for 28 years. I just counted that the other month. 28 years is a long time. Some of y'all wasn't even alive when we was protesting and demonstrating murders and different things happening in that community. So what I'm here to tell y'all tonight, I'm pretty much halfway between in this room between you all and some of the administrators in this room. Through our investigation of Denver Justice Project and other, matter of fact, we collaborate with you all. We did some march with Beth McCain office and other areas. So through my investigation, what I've come up with, I have been going up and beyond the call of duty to talk to some of these administrators, and some of these administrators have shut their doors to me. Some of these administrators, they placated me. They said certain things just to get me out the office, just to get me, leave. And what I come to the conclusion of, some of these administrators need to go because they're a part of the problem. And that's have always been an issue with me sitting up in here talking to somebody. Let's be real. On these jobs that we have to almost bow our heads and not look certain white people in the face when we at these jobs because we don't want to get fired. We want to toe the line. We want to do everything necessary to keep our job. 30 seconds. And we also know about systematic racism. So like I'm saying here tonight is that in order to get down to the solution, some of these administrators need to go. We got people in jail that have charges, shouldn't even have charges. They file these cases and they steady talking about reform, but the county jail is full of people that don't look, well, I don't say some of them belong there, but there's specifics that don't belong there. And it seems like when these come up, it's on the public defender and it's on these other lawyers that's in the courtroom to try to do something about that. But my whole overall point is some of these administrators need to go because they're in the way of progress. And that's right. This brother that just got killed, I know some of the family members, I talked to them and addressed these same issues, and they tell me the same thing. That all they getting is to run around and they're being placated. And y'all know who y'all are. Y'all do this all the time. Yes. So my whole point of it is we need to get rid of some of these people and put some people in there that's going to do the work of the community because there's no sense in this brother getting killed for murder. All he wanted to do, murder, all he wanted to do was escape the conditions of 810. I fight for the changes in 810 every day. And what I get, nothing but negative actions by these administrators. Once again, they need to go. That's what I
Hi everybody, my name is Paige Jones. I am a mother of 6 and I have black sons. And I have been a security officer for 8 years and I've been in and out of the system, seeing how the system works. We have tactics that we have. And the tactic The last one was pulling that gun, okay? It should have been the taser first, right?
Like they said.
60 feet, 60 feet. Let me tell you, 60 feet, we have tactics. For this to even happen, and you should be a sergeant or this or that, whatever entitlement, because that's the word here. It is the entitlement that these officers or these people I've seen in and out. I worked at Lizzie Flanagan, you can look me up. And I'm telling you, I stand for these kids. I'm scared every day for my sons. Every day. And I sit here and get them prepared of what you guys act like it is not fair. And everybody knows who, nobody knows us. I've never sat in a room and nobody knows who we are. But I'm here to stand for our kids. And Jordelle was there every day at my house. He was a good boy.
That's right.
And let me tell you, his mom was going through something. He just wanted the best and give her everything he could. And that tactic should have pulled that taser. That taser is the first resort if you cannot get it. But that baby was on the ground pleading for himself. And I'm going to tell you right now, we need to open up our eyes on that one. It's the entitlement that needs to go away. Because you're not entitled to nothing. Because at the end of the day, when you're done with your commission or when you're done with your little sentence on being an officer, you're going to be just like us, okay? And you might go back down to security. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's the same way on the streets.
10 seconds.
So please open your eyes. The entitlement's got to stop. Woo!
My name is Kyla Roschke, and I'm a resident of District 1 in Aurora, Colorado. This is my first time making a public comment, and I'm nervous. I've always avoided public speaking, but I'm here today to voice my support of some of the wishes of the family of Jordelle Richardson, which are to fire and indict the officers who killed Jordelle and fire interim police chief Art Acevedo, or have him resign.
Interim.
Everyone makes mistakes, and everyone deserves a chance and things like that. Jordelle, a 14-year-old child, was not granted that same grace by the officers who killed him. Intentionally spreading misinformation about a child who was shot and killed is not a mistake. Intentionally giving false information to a family who just lost their child because of the people who are supposed to protect them is not a mistake. And shooting a 14-year-old child while he is pinned down is not a mistake. It was murder. It does not matter whether the racism that led to Jordelle's death was intentional on the part of the officers or the police chief. This would not have happened to a white child. This baby was murdered because he was racially profiled.
That's right.
Not the first time.
Yes, it was.
Not the first time.
Interim.
Misinformation was spread about the circumstances surrounding this child's murder because he was black. And people are brushing off this child's death as a mistake because he was black. Regardless of how anyone here feels about the police, considering the racist killing of a 14-year-old child a mistake is unacceptable. I am thankful that it has become policy for officers to wear body cameras, because if that were not the case, we would not know what happened to this child. 20 seconds. I implore you to continue to pursue policies like this that help keep the public safe and to listen to the voices of those impacted most, like Jordelle's family. Show us that you believe that black children matter. Show us that you believe that black lives matter. I reaffirm my support of the wishes of Jordelle's family and ask that you, C.A. Kellner, reverse the decision and that you resign. Thank you.
Sorry. I'm listening here and hearing our voices is important. But it's more than just hearing us. It's really understanding that this needs action. Sorry. A 14-year-old kid being killed, that should be an absolute emergency. We should be stopping. We should be saying, how did this happen? We should be changing it. And I heard over here, it's not the first time. It's not. It's not the second time, it's not the third. This is a pattern. It's a pattern that keeps happening.
14 just as well. My nephew was just killed by an airspace agent. An airspace agent.
I think that the family is asking for some measures of accountability in terms of asking for the indictment and the firing of the officers who killed him. And the firing of Interim Chief Acevedo. I also think that accountability is the first step. We need to be reinvesting in our communities, and we need to be looking at real healing and real accountability. I think that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you all for doing the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So, I did not have a prepared remark. I just decided to spoke incredibly. So forgive me if I stutter or mess up. I am very lucky to be white passing, but I grew up in a neighborhood in a school system that had a lot of violence perpetuated towards children. I saw that violence every day. And seeing it end here with the murder of a 14-year-old child who, regardless of what he did not deserve what happened to him, is fucking nightmarish. It is awful, it is horrific. I have people I love who are going to be affected by this system, who are affected by this system, and it is horrific. This family deserves justice. They deserve to see the people who did this held accountable and the people who covered this up held accountable. They deserve to see justice because we do not often get justice for Black people in this country. They do not often get the chance to have their voices heard. And so I am asking for the right thing to be done here and for the people who did this horrific crime to be held accountable. The people who need to be fired. And I just thank you for your time.
Tell the truth. I'm Jaleesa, I'm Jordelle's aunt, and I feel like a part of doing racial equity is knowing and acknowledging the mess that your ancestors created. A lot of stuff that goes on comes from that, and it needs to be done with. If you really want to make a change, you have to go back in that time and do it. And when we first heard the news that no one was getting charged, the first thing the DA said was, I understand, I have a 13-year-old. We have 2 different 13-year-olds that live 2 completely different lives.
That's right.
Your child will be looked at as a complete human. My child is looked at as less than just because of the color of his skin. It shouldn't have to be like that. My nephew was 130 pounds. This officer weighed 2-something plus all the armor he had on him. He couldn't move.
That's right.
He couldn't breathe. Even if the gun was real, he couldn't pull it.
Absolutely.
He was telling them, I give up, I can't breathe. And a lot of the things is not the parents. My sister did the best that she can.
I know that's right.
She did everything that she was supposed to do.
That's right.
Village. Come on. We together every day, all day. My family will not be able to get over this. The kids in my family, my sons. This is all they think about, all they talk about. This changed their DNA. This changed them. Never in a million years would I think that I would have to be sitting here doing this for my nephew. We raise our boys to know what they should do, what they shouldn't do. Yes. He could have the world. My sister gave him the world. Anything he asked for, he got it. This is not some hoodlum. He was a 14-year-old child that was loved and beloved by everyone in his community, everyone he came across. He was funny, he was lively, and he knew he was going to do something with himself. He knew that he was going to be better than his environment and his upbringing. He knew that he was going to be better. And the way that everyone says that he talks about my sister, he loved my sister. He loved his mom. He loved his brother and his little sister. And they will never be the same. My sister is going through it. 4 months it will be. 4 months without my nephew. It's heartbreaking. It's sad that we have to go through this and nobody is being held accountable. because you're going off of a statement that an officer wrote 2-3 days after he killed my nephew. You're not even going off of the video where it says that, where he says, I can't breathe, I give up. You're not going off of any of that. You're going off of the color of his skin, and that officer, all he saw was another nigga. That's all he saw.
That's true.
That's all he saw. But the first thing you say to a person of color is, I understand. No, you don't. Acknowledgement in your salary should know that there's certain things that you should say and that you shouldn't say. You get paid enough. You have the education to do so. There was things in that meeting that we thought would be common sense that you didn't even think about. And you still decided not to charge him. Nothing. Not even a slap on the wrist. He's probably back at work now, which no one wants to tell us. Still out there deceiving the community.
Yeah.
And now they have a program at, what is it? Aurora Community College. I hope that they're going to teach them better. Put some people in the community that come from the community, that understand the community. Come on. That know these people, that come from the same background. I work with kids and I be a breath of fresh air to those kids because they know. They know that I know where they come from. They know that I have that understanding for them. You have to. There's better things that you have to do. You can't have these meetings and just say, well, this is what we want to do. Action. It has to be some type of action. An acknowledgement of the reasons why we're here. Your ancestors.
Accountability.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Brandon. I'm part of Denver Aurora Community Action Committee, and I want to reiterate, we don't want to just be heard, we want action. And the people are in this room that can be that change with the families. So reiterating that we need not just be heard, but we need action. Because a 14-year-old getting shot should not happen. This should never happen. No matter what instance, he did not deserve to be killed by these police officers. And it is disgusting that the DA does not hold the police accountable. We need that these officers are held accountable for what they've done to Jordelle, what they've taken from this community. And the family needs to have something in return. They need justice. And these police officers did not just have this one incident. They had a history.
And he lied about
a history of racial profiling. And yet they are still on the streets. Still on the streets. Killer cops are still on the streets. And I asked the DA specifically, why aren't you holding them accountable? You have the power to do something about it.
20 seconds.
And what we're also advocating for as DAPAC is community control of the police.
That's right.
We need the community in charge of these decisions to be able to fire police officers and determine how their community is policed.
What is our money paying for?
Exactly.
Good evening, everybody. Buenas noches a todos. My name is Tim Hernandez. I'm here supporting and in deep solidarity with the family of Jordelle Richardson. I'm a teacher. I taught at the Aurora West College Preparatory Academy. You'll see some of our students who were in class with Jordelle, who look like Jordelle, who sound like Jordelle, and who I'm sure are having a really rough entry into their high school year because they had to start without their friend.
That's right.
I'm also a state representative for House District 4 in the Colorado General Assembly. And whatever, it's not about me, whatever. And I have some very clear points, and I'm gonna be very honest with y'all. I have some points and I have some solutions. My first is that Chief Art Acevedo, you have to resign.
Yes.
You have to go. You gotta go, we don't want you. straight up. You gotta go. You sat in the press, you lied about a 14-year-old boy for 9 days in the press, lied to his family about what type of government they had that is villainizing a black boy in a community that you do not know, that you do not serve, and you didn't even know before you got here. Yeah. You gotta go. We don't want you. Let me also be very clear. I appreciate the brother who said about removing officials. DA Kellner, you feel me? That's an elected position in case you don't know. I am not surprised that a member of the Republican Party, won by less than 1,500 votes in their election in 2021, chose not to prosecute officers that murdered a 14-year-old child. We should resign, and if not, we should recall him. You feel me? Chant real quick, it's justice for Jordelle Richardson. Justice for Jordelle Richardson. Justice for Jordelle Richardson. Justice for Jordelle Richardson. Thank you. And another thing, also, we know what you've been up to in other cities. We know what you've been up to in Houston. We know what you've been up to in Miami. We know about the no-knock warrant. You got 2 black people killed out of Miami. We know about the revenge porn you were keeping in your car as an officer of the law in the 90s and 2000s. So don't be mistaken. Not only should you not be a law officer here, you should not be a law enforcement officer, period. Period. So, we all know what the first step is. The first step is accountability. The first step is seeing these officers indicted, which we know you have the power to do, DA Kellner. The first step is seeing these officers fired, and seeing you never hold the position as a law enforcement officer again. You, Ron Brzezinski, and James Snap. I don't give a goddamn. We're so sick and tired of this. The entire community has come out because we lack democratic control of our institutions, and we lack democratic control of the institution which give the most funding in our communities. The most of our tax dollars go to the police. Why? 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 I didn't vote for that. Y'all didn't vote for that. Why? So what I have to say is, we need democratic control of the police, but we need democratic control of all of our institutions. We need bodies that are able to hire and fire their officers. We need bodies that are able to set their policy, that are able to set their budget, that are able to indict them, that are able to subpoena them for information, for their investigations, and that body needs to be fully accountable to the people. It needs to be elected by the people. It needs to be in all of our communities. It needs to be in Denver. It needs to be in Aurora. It needs to be in Lafayette County. It needs to be in Duplin County, in Jefferson County. I don't care. It needs to be all across Colorado. We are part of the National Alliance Against Racist and Political Oppression. Whether you know DA Cap or not, whether you know his family or not, all the people who are here today are part of this National Alliance because we are had it. We need democratic control of our institutions because otherwise this is going to keep happening.
Give him hell. Oh, we never got it.
I did not plan to speak today.
I'm glad you are.
Oh, I'm glad to be here. And I'd like everybody to raise your hand if you've ever had a job. We got even some of the babies who've had jobs. I'll raise my hand. Please put your hand down if you've ever been fired for a bad attitude. Go ahead and put your hand down if you've ever been fired for showing up late too many times. Go ahead and put your hand down if you've ever been asked to not come back because of some other behavior. In fact, Mr. Acevedo, I'm really disappointed that you're not participating with us.
He's not fired yet.
Well, give him fun.
Thank you for the calling. Chief Acevedo, please participate.
Thank you. So it's my 2 minutes, thank you. Please put your hand down if you've been asked to resign or otherwise leave your position for some issue in your family. You couldn't show up, your kid was sick, somebody was in the hospital, you didn't have good health insurance, any reason. Please put your hand down if you've been asked to resign for any reason, any. Everybody's hand should be down, except mine. I've never been fired. But you know what I haven't done? I haven't murdered a 14-year-old. People in this room have had jobs, including children, who participated when this man did not think he was a part of that.
We'll give you 15 seconds, great.
Yeah, I was interrupted. People have lost their jobs because their kids were in the hospital. People have lost their jobs because they didn't have a working vehicle. There is no excuse that these two people should still have their jobs when they executed a child. And it is absolutely unexcusable that this man doesn't think he has to participate in the solution when that's supposedly why he's here.
I think Art put his hand down because he got fired early on from what I saw, just FYI.
That's facts. First time you've been a problem.
Well, first of all, let's, these are the bravest people in the room.
That's
Give them a round of applause. Okay. Solution. Solution number one. Get rid of this fat fucker here. Solution number two. You get your lazy ass up and reverse your decision as far as convicting the murderer who murdered that 14-year-old child named Jordelle Richardson. Matter of fact, can y'all say his name? Thank you. And I hope you do not sleep at night, sir. Now, this lying sack of shit here, let me tell you right now, he is not your authority. You understand me? This blue costume right here and the little shiny badge and all that, that is a costume. He is your employee. You are the employer. You're his boss. Let me tell you who the fuck I am. I am a cop watcher, civil rights activist, that I watch these fuckers every day. I'm actually in the street with you. I am a pro-activist because I prevent things from happening so we don't end up in some fucked up situations like this.
That's right, brother.
Second, another solution, bring back the oversight board committee. Bring it back. Leave with the goddamn dignity that you have in your goddamn little pants there, okay? Because you have no nuts, okay? You have none, okay? And your fat ass needs to lose some damn weight.
20 seconds and no personal attacks, please.
Yes,
20
ma'am.
seconds.
Yes, ma'am. At the end of the day, we need people who are reliable, who's going to protect these children, because at the end of the day, I have a 13-year-old. He's about to be 14. Is he next? Are they next?
Right.
That's what you need to ask yourself. You need to do the right thing and bow down and let this community heal. Thank you, children. Thank you for being brave for even being here. Love you all.
Yeah. 11.
I was 10.
Oh, you're 10? 11.
I already went. I'll go again though.
Thank you. My name is Kenneth Kelly, and I didn't expect to be here, but I'm a Colorado native, and I was born in Denver, and I have experienced. I want to digress for a second. I first of all want to say my heart and my prayers go out to the family. And nobody can tell you how you're feeling unless they have gone through what you've gone through. So if someone hasn't lost a family member, do due to senseless violence. They can't, don't lie and say, we know how you feel. You don't know how you feel. They don't know how you feel. Okay, so
They never will.
they never will. You never will. Your loss is your loss. My loss is my loss. And I'm not going to disrespect your loss by naming the names of so many other countless victims that I've seen, that I know, and that are in my family, okay? Because I'm a black man. I'm an American black man, and I know what this is about. I didn't read it in the book, okay? I believe, I've been a black man in the 59, in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, you know what I'm saying? I've seen it, okay? Rodney King and so forth, the advent of the cell phone and all kinds of stuff, you know what I'm saying? I can hear what, like I said, I'm not gonna name other names, because.
20 seconds.
Okay, you said something that was helpful, that we need to know the problems and solutions. And I'm gonna say something that's very unpopular to both sides, because really where the real problem is something called politics. Okay, and politics is what's going on over here, okay? Because this problem didn't just start in Aurora, it didn't start in Arapahoe County, it didn't start in Denver, it didn't start a few years ago, and I'm gonna tell you, a couple of years from now, somebody else is gonna get murdered, okay? And one of the reasons they're gonna get murdered is because nothing has happened productive during this murder, and the last murders, and the murders before, okay? And not all the police are murderers. Okay, now there's some bad police, and I've had them have their boot on my neck. Okay, I've been in the street with my hands behind my back, with a boot and a shotgun shot around me, and I'm not a criminal. Okay, I've been arrested and put in jail, had my car towed, and then released on my own recognizance because I haven't done anything wrong other than being a black man in America. So there's a real problem here, and it's one reason why it perpetuates is because people don't want to deal with the real root. That's this man that resigned. He didn't start it, okay? I was in the same kind of meeting and so forth this with the previous police chief, and she had me believing she's gonna do something, and she didn't because she's a politician, okay? So what I'm saying is now there's politicians on both sides. There's politicians in the administration, and they just want to climb the ladder. And then there's politicians in the activist side, and they're just trying to capitalize on other people's pain to make names for themselves. Get up here and try to pretend like you're Jesse Jackson, and you ain't lost nobody. You ain't lost nobody. So I take offense on both sides. I take offense from people who think you can speak for me. You can't speak for me. If you ain't a black man in America, then you can't speak for me. So what I have to say is, if there's some people who really want to make a difference, I invite them to get in touch with me, and I'll talk about some real solutions, because the problem goes way back. The problem isn't just a new problem, and if you think that you're going to make some changes without dealing with the root of the problem, you're just taking advantage of some people's pain, and I take offense of that. Okay, I'm not with you if you're just up here trying to make a show and capitalize on these people's pain, because I got a sister who still ain't right. And she lost her child a long time ago. She never will be right, because you can't make it right. No amount of money can make it right. You're not fire somebody to make it right. You ain't gonna get your child back. So I am scared, but I'm not that scared. You know why I'm not that scared? Because I'm new to this. I've been black a whole long time. I've been in danger a long time. I've been shot at. I've been, I could get killed. The thing that kept me alive is that back in the day, we knew better. We knew that we were the same. You see what I'm saying? There's certain things we knew not to do, otherwise we get killed. Okay? So if there's somebody who really wants to do some real talk, get with me. But then I'm going to step back and give it to number 12, whatever. You can keep on with your politician or politicking. But if you're a politician, I don't care what side you're on, you're not productive. I'm not asking you to step down. I'm asking you to take this opportunity to see if you could do something different than what your predecessors would do. If you're willing to do that, I don't want you to step down. Okay? If you're willing to do that, to make a change, because we're not talking about just, we're talking about something serious. We're talking about life and death. We're talking about kids getting killed, and it's going to continue. Because this is Denver, racist Colorado was founded by the Ku Klux Klan.
Thank you.
So anyway.
My name is Dakota. I'm with the Party for Socialism and Liberation. This is a question for the DA. In 2021, A state-level investigation found that the Aurora Police Department has a clear pattern and practice of racist policing and use of excessive force. The report stated that Aurora does not create and oversee appropriate expectations for responsible behavior, which regularly leads to the use of excessive force and violations of the civil rights of people in Aurora. How is your decision not to charge Officer Ucheska for the murder of Jordelle Richardson and Officer Snap for excessive force anything but an affirmation of Aurora's pattern and practices of racist and violent policing? How are the people of Aurora to see APD as a legitimate force in their communities? And that is a question.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the report that you're talking about from the Attorney General's office, and as I understand it, and you could ask the city council members from Aurora all kinds of questions about this, that they've instituted a number of reforms intended to address those issues. And that may be an underlying concern, and I appreciate that. In fact, look, I look at a lot of Aurora cases involving, at times, officers. And I appreciate the pain and the frustration. But I want you to look at some other things that I've done. So as district attorney, I have charged an Aurora police officer for allegedly pistol whipping somebody who is in his custody.
What about murder? Somebody take his money.
That person has gotten trial and convicted. I have charged people.
Boo! Bullshit!
What I'm saying, because there's not an answer that can be given in this room that will ever equate to Jordelle Richardson's life. There's not an answer John Kilner can give you at this moment.
The answer is to hold people accountable.
Well,
hold them accountable.
why would it even you want to be held accountable? Why would you hold your own goddamn officer fuck accountable? Why would you do that?
Right.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Doesn't give a shit. Never did.
If this is a white boy,
Do you all want to talk individually on the mic?
this is not.
Does anyone want to talk?
Does
Does anyone who has not spoken want to talk? I don't need to talk.
So maybe we should be trauma informed.
Okay, give our kids the respect of allowing their voice to be in this space right now, please.
Hi, we're Jordelle.
Hold the mic to your lips, man.
We're Jordel's friends. We're asking he used to call us his brothers, not me, not his girlfriends, but these, his brothers. And we would like to know if you guys know how you guys killing our best friend affected us, all of us, individually, not just us, because there's many more kids from everywhere. Schools all around Aurora and Denver that knew Jordelle and have been affected by this. I had to start my first year of high school without Jordelle. We planned to do everything together. I had to go to my prom alone because Jordelle was killed by one of your officers. I used to fall asleep on the phone with him every night, and I can no longer do that because of your officers. I don't know if you have a wife or anything, but if you do, you must love her. Jordelle was my best friend, my other half. I don't know how we met to became together, especially to engage, but we did, and it was different, and it was and I no longer feel that. I feel an empty hole now, and I'm 14 years old. My little brother, I'm scared when he goes out because I know that this just happened to Jordelle, it could happen to him, or even Tay-Tay, the youngest one out of us all. And
only because of the color of his skin, not his actions, not anything, the color of his skin. Jordelle's a good kid. I wonder how much money all those days that store lost, how much it was altogether. Because was it enough to take his life?
No, ma'am.
It wasn't. And it's not okay.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not at all.
And we live with that, not you guys. That officer got to go home to his family and all of us that night. What did we do that night? What did you do when you found out Jordelle passed?
I cried.
My eyes are all out. My eyes are red. I knew little brother.
How would you feel if you lost your kid? How would you feel? How would you feel? How would you feel if you lost your best friend? How would you feel? How would you feel? I used to hang out with him all the time. I used to go out and play basketball with him. How would you feel? You don't understand the pain that we feel? All these kids here that feel, everyone here. You don't understand it. Your officer took away our best friend, our brother, just because he felt like it. Just because he felt like he can. Just because he was black, just because of the color of his skin.
What's gonna be next for the bus?
Like what?
We heard Jordelle plead.
We heard him.
And we heard him say, take the gun. It wasn't even a real gun.
It wasn't even a real gun. He died over a pellet gun.
If anything,
And it was because of one of your officers' fault.
Respect for officers. When he would see an officer at our school or something, or we drove past him, most kids, even him still, flipped him off and shit. Jordelle always respected them. He would just smile. Sometimes if they waved at him, he would wave and he would keep his head down. He left out was wrong. He didn't do anything wrong. He could have really ran from those cops. If we all want to be honest,
Jordelle was back.
Yeah, Jordelle.
But you know what he did? He surrendered. He gave up. And your officer slammed him on the floor.
Slammed him on the floor.
Knocked all the hairs in his air out. He said he couldn't breathe. Your officer started asking him questions after he was dead.
After he
was dead.
And they
on the floor.
Boy, right here.
Still didn't help.
He couldn't breathe. He couldn't do nothing. He couldn't even move. Your officer had his knee on his body.
He asked them to ask for help, and you guys still didn't give him the help that he needed.
Y'all could have tased him. Y'all could have arrested him. Y'all could have did anything else but shoot him. But y'all decided to shoot him. Point blank.
Y'all gave him CPR for a gunshot wound, and even as children know that first you should put pressure on the wound. And he was still breathing, talking perfectly fine. Why did they give him CPR? There's really no pressure added to the wound, no nothing. Y'all could have gave him CPR after, if anything. They had no intent of helping him. They had the only intent to kill him.
And out of all of those kids, you caught 3 kids and you decided to shoot the blackest one there.
And
Out of
all those
of
kids
them.
now
Out of all of
we see
them.
in the hallways at our school.
And we have to
you
live with
guys
that.
didn't even hold them accountable for the parts they had in that day either. I have classes with kids that were there that day and they smiled at me and taught me and I can't do anything about it. But I have to go through this because of your officers. I cry almost every day. I see my mom cry, my brothers cry because of your officers.
He deserves to go to jail for life.
I saw Jordelle every day. Now I see him never hear his voice, never anything.
His laugh.
His laugh. That laugh was so contagious.
He was the rambunctious one of all of them. All of these, they stayed at my house every time and all the time. And he was a rambunctious, he was a loud one. He was always trying to make sure that everybody was okay. Even his mom. At the end of the day, it was his mom and his family.
You're hungry? Let's order gold. Jordelle never even got the chance to make it to the NBA. He was such a good basketball player. He had just learned. He had just learned how to dunk. He had just learned how to dunk, and he never even got to play his last game with his older brother.
He said he's gonna be better.
And show him that maybe he finally stepped up to his level a little bit because of your officers. He never gets to finish his childhood years because of your officers. His birthday is actually, what, in a month or so?
November 25th.
And he doesn't get to be here for his birthday anymore because of your officers. We gotta celebrate on his birthday without him. We gotta get tattoos and we gotta get shirts and we have to take pictures and talk about him and remember him when he should be here. And we got no justice for it either. Your officer's still gonna be back on the street.
Kill somebody else.
That's how it is.
Somebody else.
We don't get to our brother.
I just want to say
Nothing
I miss my
happens
brother.
to the DA, nothing happens to you.
I just want to say
It all
one thing.
happened to us. Y'all are talking about change, but you guys never actually do anything to give us the change we ask for.
This goes out to the lawyer that made the DA that said that officer wasn't getting no charges. I hope you don't sleep at night, and if you have kids, I hope all y'all sleep. I'm sorry about it. Cause why did my brother have to pay with his life? He could have got tased, he could have got arrested, anything else, but he had to pay with his life. Cause of this chief officer, his officer killed my brother for no reason. For what? Just because he was black, and y'all saying he was resisting. He literally said, "I give up. Y'all got me. Y'all got me." Repeatedly, he said that repeatedly in the video. Y'all can clearly hear it. So I don't know why your officer said, "Oh yeah, I'm just gonna go shoot this black kid just because he's black." No, that's not how it works, bro. This is racism. Your officer should deserve to go to jail.
That's right. That's right.
I'm just glad because my brother, he had to pay his consequences with his life, but the officer who killed my brother, he didn't have to pay no consequences. He's still on the streets, probably, I don't know. But I just want to say that he's still with his family. Where's our brother? He's not with his family. He's not with his other family.
I'll have a
That's all I gotta say.
quick discussion after this razor, I promise.
I just wanted to say, Jordelle is like my best friend. I've been with him since preschool. Our officer kicks up his feet every day, goes home to his family every day. You don't know how hard it is, bro. I used to call JD on a daily, bro, just to see how his day was. Not even to hang out. Not even to hang out. I just wanted to know how my little brother's day was. That was I knew him since a kid. You don't know how hard it is.
Y'all took the light from my little brother's life.
I can't even look at his brother in the eye no more because everything I see is him, bro. You don't know how hard it is. Oh, I see his mom. All I see is him, bro. I see his little sister. All I see is him, bro. I can't look none of them in the eyes anymore, bro. You want to know what's the hardest thing for me? Is knowing that his little sister is gone. Is knowing that his little sister, he's gone. Because I remember every day he used to play with his little sister. Every day. Every day I used to go over to his house. You don't know how hard. Ask my mama when I was gone, I used to be with him. I wasn't even where I was supposed to be, but every time I was gone, I used to be with him.
At my house.
At her house. At his house. These people right here is who I call my family because they know me. Him right here, I want the best for him. I pray for him every day because all I think about is him. How is he going, bro? How is he doing? Because I know the heart, I know the hole in him. I know the hole in her. I know the hole in him. I know the hole in everybody here. Because you want to know why? We all grew up with him. We all have personal problems with him. We all done helped him. He done helped us. What does your officer go home and do every day? Answer me that. What does your officer go home and do every day?
See his family.
See his family. See his kids. See his brothers, right?
I want to hear your answer.
Go home with the family.
Exactly.
Does my brother get to do that?
No.
Does my brother get to go see his brother? Did my brother get to go see his older brother?
No.
Does my brother get to go see his mom?
No.
Does he get to walk through that door?
No.
Does he get to graduate this year?
No.
No, he doesn't. He could have made it to the NBA.
My little bro was going to high school, bro. Out of middle school. Out of middle school. High school. Straight A student, go to the stores, all that.
Never been in trouble.
Never been in trouble with none of that.
like
And those little club wars and that Pelican cost him his life. I could go buy a Pelican for $150 and a Puff for $34. Those Puff wars and the Pelican cost him his life.
And you can get all that.
Just because just because of his skin color, your officer would have shot me too.
That's right.
I'm more white than I'm black. I'm more white than I'm black. But your officer would have still shot me because of my skin color.
And your hoodie. And your hoodie. Don't
And my hoodie. And my hoodie.
And the mask.
And my mask. And my hat. And my appearance.
Him himself.
Just because this is how I dress on a daily basis.
Matter of fact, just because of his shoes.
Exactly. Just because of my shoes. I would got shot by your officer.
Just because I dress like this, you look like a gangster. Just because I sag, I look like a gangster.
Exactly. Thank you.
Because I show my brother.
Exactly. Thank you.
They look like kids to me.
I'm an athlete.
Thank you. I play football and basketball, bro. I skateboard, bro.
Every day.
I go to school every day, bro. I stay in my classes. I do my work. I got straight A's.
Jordelle went to school every day. He went to
I
He
see
went
Jordelle
to
at school
single
every
class.
day.
He's the reason why I stopped being depressed after my sister died. He brought my smile back. He did everything. He made me joyful. And because your officer killed him, I have a bigger hole in my heart than anything. Ask my mama. Mama, how many hours do I spend with you a day?
My brother's gone. He's gone. And these are this happened. These are middle school kids. They're high school now.
Ninth grade.
Thank you.
Middle school kids.
Jordelle, 14. Jordelle, middle school, Jordelle, it just hurts when I see him in high school. That's all I gotta say. It just really hurts. And the crazy thing is that the man who killed my brother didn't even get charged, but my brother got sentenced with death over health bars and a penalty. That's all I gotta say.
I've been hiding my hands the whole time because I got his name tatted. And it's not good to look at no more because I shouldn't have his name tatted. I got his first name and his last name. I don't even like it no more. It's not good to look at. He should be here. He shouldn't be dead.
He shouldn't be on an arm. He shouldn't be on a shirt. He shouldn't be on a picture. He shouldn't be here standing here with us. We shouldn't even be here today. None of us. That's right.
I'm telling you, like,
I shouldn't be looking at videos to hear my brother's laugh. I should be hearing it in real person. Like
before that, we was just at my house. He was dancing, smiling.
And the crazy thing is, the day he died, he just got back from Texas.
He just got back from
None of us
vacation.
seen it in
I
like
just texted him. I said, hey,
weeks.
Jordelle, hey, bro, like, you feel me? And then he texted me back. And after that, I ain't never get a response.
I appreciate y'all so much for having the courage.
I'm gonna have a conversation after this. Sit out my here. We will explain everything and we will definitely give you a rundown of everything. KDOT made a fiery speech for the resignation of Chief
Will not bring me peace, and I get that.
Escorting
I
it to
know
the
that.
VA, but I will talk
I
about
just
more in a
want
minute.
to acknowledge that you got up here together and that you stood up for your brother. And that means everything. Never give that up. You stand together. I want y'all to say his name because I think that's one of the most powerful things.
Jordelle Richardson!
Yeah, this is directly for John Keller as well. So I've read your report, and you want us to believe that 14-year-old Jordelle's murder was justified based solely on the verbal testimony of Officer Richardson after he shot and killed the child. All you have provided to back this up is a single, blurry, inscrutable photo that your department handpicked to show the public. We have seen how your department coaches its officers to say the magic words that they feared for their lives and claim that they thought their victim was reaching for a weapon. We saw this plainly documented in the Elijah McClain case. Why would the community have any reason to accept this as justification for the murder of a child from our community? Why would we not instead look at the facts of this department's history, the facts of the footage showing the child shot in cold blood, the facts of the shot being in his back, the facts of your empty documentation? Why would we look at those facts and not conclude the opposite? That this was yet another cold-blooded, racist murder by the Aurora police? Genuine question, would like an answer.
Since they forgot about their Wolverine cards.
And I don't know how productive it's going to be for Mr. Kellner to attempt to answer a question at this point, but if you want to, hey, look, you know what's about to come your way, so I want you to be thoughtful as to whether or not you want to answer a question at this point, or if you're going to schedule a meeting for there to be open conversation with you.
I can do both. I do appreciate that you read the letter. I think that's important. It's 14 pages long. It's on our website. I'm required to do that by law. This process doesn't begin and end with me. And there's an independent investigation conducted by an outside agency, not the Aurora Police Department investigating itself. That's an investigation by the Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office, where they present their findings and conclusions to me to then make an ultimate decision. Now, I'm glad that you read it. I think there's some things that are maybe being lost here. I'm not basing a decision solely on a statement of an officer. I'm basing it on body-worn camera footage,
Why?
footage
What
from
did you have
outside
right
of the
here?
alley.
What did you say? Why? If any other person, if they were with somebody who committed murder, they have to do life with that other person.
Investigation. Now, I'm happy to have a deeper discussion about this. I don't think there's anything I can say that's going to make you agree with this decision.
You can
There's
say
something you can do.
Do your job. First the decision.
My job
You're messing
is
up
to
again,
apply
man.
the facts to the law.
Apparently
And then I
not.
have to
Apparently
follow
not.
my ethical obligations. That is my job.
That's some ethics.
Thank you.
I don't think we
Next
can
person
see
up. We have another person who's getting ready to speak. Okay.
I'm sorry. My name is Shania. I'm Jordelle's cousin. We a month apart. I never even thought I would have to sit here talk about his death. I always thought like he would be here. We would be celebrating holidays together. Homecoming. And then all we talked about was our future, our life, going to high school.
Yes, I think that's what you
I had to start high school without him. Just doesn't sit right with me. It feels like I can't do anything without him being here. It feels wrong continuing life without him, knowing he's no longer here standing with us. The day I found out he passed away, I didn't want to believe it. I thought it was a lie. I didn't want to believe it. I begged my mom to go to the hospital and make sure he was okay. And all she kept telling me was he wasn't there, he wasn't there. Still to this day, sometimes I don't want to believe that he's gone. I want to believe that one day he's just going to walk in a room and I'll see him and I'll be able to hug him. But no. My family's broken. Everything's broken. Seeing my older cousin, his brother that day, it just didn't seem right. Nothing will ever be the same. No family event, no nothing, no birthdays, no celebrations.
Candace, I'd like to say something, if I may. I think one of the things that is happening in this room right now is we are seeing the pain manifest that some of us have not fully processed. What I would like to say is simply, we have a lot of people in this room that have experienced, and just listening, I've counted all of the friends that I have who have family members or friends who were black or brown living in America and are no longer here because they received a death sentence because of a mistake, because of not being, because of misidentification. So what we have are people in this room who are in pain, and we also have people in this room who can do something about it. What we need to do is examine our systems that have been in place to be judge, jury, and executioner of black and brown people for centuries in this country. We are asking that to stop. That's all. We want to make sure that when our children go out and they make a mistake, they have an opportunity to come home. We are asking that when our children go out and they're not doing nothing, they have an opportunity to come home. That does not happen with black and brown families. It just doesn't. So as we look at state statute, as we look at oaths of office, as we look at training, we need to rethink the systems that put us in this room this evening. And that is what I am saying, you know, from my position, because quiet as is kept, I may wear a name badge.
Can I have a bathroom?
Oh, absolutely.
This is Jordelle's little sister.
You go,
She gotta use the
baby.
restroom.
You gotta go. You go do it. So I am merely lucky. I will be in this office maybe another 11 years, maybe. I'm lucky because when I leave this room, I'm a black woman with 5 black kids that may be doing nothing, that may die. You have our processes here, our systems. You have people in this room who have to teach their children what to do when you are approached by the police so they can live. Not so they can just get away from a ticket, so they can live. That's a lot of pressure to put on the community. And that needs to stop. I just needed to say that, Candace, thank you. We have got to change our systems. We have to get into a mental space that says, we have a problem, we can do something about it, even if we don't know what to do about it right now, we do something. We need to take a step to change the systems and let that start tonight.
Absolutely, I echo that sentiment. I thank everyone for coming out. I think that we're getting close to the end of our time. Yes, I think there's about 3 or 4 people left, just to respect everyone's time. So for those remaining, just keep your comments at 2 minutes, please.
I'll keep it short. My name is Nate Casa. I'm an organizer with the Party for Socialism and Liberation. And I think we've done enough talking. There's 2 people who have power in this room. DA John Kempner, I think you made it pretty clear that you have power and you're not going to do anything about it. You're not going to charge the 2 officers. All right, so you lied for 8 days.
9.
The letter, 9, thank you. The letter clearly said the investigators from the APD immediately recognized that it was a pellet gun. That means you knew that. You had a briefing. You knew that. When you spoke to the family, you did. When you talked to the press,
not all you want.
Knew that. And you can fire them. And for being a liar, you should absolutely resign. There is no other option
100.
tonight.
100.
So I have a question for you. And it's yes or it's a no. Will you resign? That's it. We don't get it. We don't get it. Shut it down. We don't get it. Shut it down. We don't get it. Shut it down. What do we want? Justice. When do we want? Now. When do we want? Justice. When do we want? Now.
Watch Kate out.
Shut it down.
We're gonna vote you out. We're gonna vote you out. We're gonna vote you out. We're gonna vote you out.
I know, we all met Jordelle.
Okay.
Paige Owens, P-A-I-G. We're just going to take a few minutes to just allow the room to calm down a little bit and process.
He thinks it's funny. So does this piece of shit right here.
There is an offering of mental health resources that you need to process. If you would like some of that information or resources, please don't hesitate to come up and speak to one of us. I think it's critical. It's really critical that our community has these conversations openly and candidly, without being cut off, without feeling as if this is inappropriate. The anger that we feel is going to boil over in one way or another, and simply to be heard is critical right now. It's going to help inform the steps that we take and the ways that we work together as a community. I was really happy that community showed up tonight.
I do have a question for him.
For Mr. Kellner, do you want, we're ending right now. Do you want to talk to him as we end? Okay, so give us a couple minutes. We're getting ready to close out. I feel like there's a lot of things still up in the air that people want to say.
He should be able to.
And I understand that. I want to respect
grand jury.
everyone's time and the fact that
Still
everyone
reverse the
made
decision.
time in their life to
At least
be
look
here
at it.
tonight
At
and
least
honor
look at
that.
it.
And then
In
have
honoring
the
a
people
circle,
look at it.
which is what we are in, a restorative
grand jury
circle.
decide.
I want you all to
So
leave here
there's still loopholes.
centered and focused. I'd love if everyone would put their feet on the ground and take some intentional breaths right now. We just processed a lot. We're holding trauma. You now have experienced vicarious trauma if you don't know what that is. And I want you to leave here less that. So we do something called 2-4-6. Breathe in for 2, hold for 4, breathe out for 6 audibly, meaning that you make a noise with your breath out. So we'll start. Breathe in for 2, hold for 4, out for 6 audibly. And one more time, in for 2, hold for 4, out 6. Tonight was the first step of many in having restorative conversations. This is a restorative conversation. That does not mean that the responsibility of action has left the room for anyone who holds the power to do as such. Our community needs this. Each and every one of us need this, and we will continue on this cycle if we do not begin to do these things. You may hate some of the things that you heard. I hope that they stay on your hearts and your minds in every aspect of the jobs that you do and the people that you are. Everything we do touches one another. I will end with a parable of the man on the boat. So there's a boat, there's 8 people up front rowing, because they know that the rest of the boat needs them to row. Otherwise they will die stuck at sea. And there's a man in the back of the boat who's drilling a hole. And the people in the front of the boat are wondering, why in the hell are we getting nowhere? What is happening? We're rowing, we can't row anymore. We're so tired, we've switched out. My son came up here, my grandson, my uncle, my brother, my cousin, and we're not moving. And somebody says, hey, there's a guy at the back of the boat who made a hole. And everyone's frantic, and they start running to the back of the boat, and they say, what the hell are you doing? And he says, this is my part of the boat. And I can do whatever the hell I want in my part of the boat. But what he failed to realize is that we're all in the same boat. And what you do when you're part of the boat affects each and every one of us. I hope that you take that with you and that you remember just because you got a ticket on a boat doesn't mean that you don't affect the rest of us. Have a wonderful night.
Okay. You ready for that? All right, here we go, guys. Here's Kaden. He wants to talk to the DA real quick. So we're going to go on over. One second, he told Kaden.
Kyle, yeah. CCJRC.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
So,
I didn't get your name, I'm sorry.
Civil rights activist, cop watcher. I'm actually out on the street with these guys every single So you say that you can't reverse the decision, but you also have an opportunity to get a grand jury involved to where it's actually in the hands of the people.
Yeah.
It will look better on you. It's a solution for Jordelle's family, a solution for the community itself. It's a great solution for you because then you display that evidence and it will be totally up to them. And I believe you do have that opportunity. Not only that, you have great, first of all, you have privilege. Let's be 100%. You are a white male who has privilege. And you have immense power to turn this around and do the right thing and be the right side of history. Now, I'm not discrediting you as far as what you did, as far as the pistol whipping.
Yeah.
As far as you convicting for the pistol whipping, I applaud that.
That case is
but here's the thing. There's a difference between a pistol whipping and then some murder. That young man is not here. I have a 13-year-old. He will be 14 in July. I'm on pins and needles because I want him to survive as a black child in this society, especially in this city, in this community. So I ask you to reconsider, think about it, and bring a grand jury because then it would be in the hands of the people.
I appreciate your perspective. I appreciate the, cordial conversation. I heard you earlier, obviously, I'm very fired up, and I think we actually have a conversation when we talk like this. So thank you for telling me that. I'll consider that. I will. You want to talk some more?
I'd like to get the business card.
Yeah.
We can set up a meeting. This is my partner,
I know you're going to vote me out. I got it.
No, I'm serious, man. If you don't do the right thing, we all are going to vote you out.
Everybody
The
has that opportunity.
Look.
Sorry, what was your name? John.
We're out there. We are. The reason why I said dictated as activists because we literally are telling the officers, do not do that. Do not violate this person's rights. We have you on camera. And if you do it, you will be in trouble.
I've seen some videos. I don't know if they're your videos, but I've seen videos.
If anything, we're there to help. If anything. And what we need to do is also bring us in the spaces of training. Train them on First Amendment, citizen and officer interaction. That's what we do. We train every single day with these guys without them even knowing they're being in the training model.
Yeah. Like I said, I've seen some of the video. Appreciate what you guys do. Some of it I think is helpful.
All I'm saying to you is if you don't do the right thing on this one, at least put it in the hands of the people are going to vote you out. And that's not.
I don't
that's
make
not,
decisions about
look,
politics.
Listen,
I know you
listen.
might think I do.
No.
I
don't care about the politics, but what I'm telling you is the only way that you're going to survive this with any sort of faith is to do the right thing. And if you don't, the community is going to remember, and they will hold you accountable.
Appreciate that. Let me get you a card, okay?
This guy doesn't appreciate shit. He's a fucking piece of shit, milquetoast politician. He doesn't give a fuck about the community, and we need to vote him the fuck out. So if you're in Aurora, Colorado, vote that milquetoast piece of shit right the fuck on out of here.
Bit of a snarling attitude. it to you? No, he did. He keeps smirking at you.
Yeah, he's a fucking piece of shit.
You know when you're.
And where's that other
He
piece
just,
of
when you
shit?
were talking,
That
it was
piece
just that
of shit
smirk.
right there
I see
too.
what you did, but I kind of support some of your stuff. But it was just, I know what you mean. It was,
If you know what we do, then you should know that we're coming for you. And we know,
So
and you know
sick
we
of
don't
this
play,
fucking
you know we're not
shit,
telling
man.
any fucking lies.
Sir.
Yes.
John asked me to give you my card. So here's my
Your
phone
card?
number. Yeah.
We wanted his card.
I know. You can reach me. You want to meet with him?
Yep. Well,
Wow. Okay, guys. So
he just agreed to give his card.
he agreed to give us his card, and he gave us his secretary's card. Wow. That's her card, not piece of shit DA's card.
do you work with him?
Yeah, but here's the thing. He just said he would give his card and then just walked off. So is he abandoning his word, or is...
Oh yeah, he took off through the back. He's a coward. He's a coward. I'm so sick of this fucking bullshit, guys. You have no fucking idea.
If he can't even commit to saying, I'll give you something, and then walks
That
off.
shows you the character of this fucking guy, man. He just sent his lackey out here instead of himself. Sorry, no offense, but what a piece of shit, man. That guy ain't gonna do a fucking thing about nothing. And he took off the back way because he's so fucking scared of KDOT and myself. I think my comments really got to him. We're gonna vote him the fuck out of here. Keeper, you're funny, Keeper.
Small thing. If you can't even say, I'll give you something, you can't do something as small as this.
Look.
How do we expect you to do your
Let me
job?
see that. Let me see that.
You know what I mean? Because it's saying one thing and then doing another. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, I agree.
And,
I agree.
And he just, I would like to know.
Wow, we finally got his card.
Look,
It took his
John
lovely
said when
assistant
he
here
had
to
left,
get his card, but he couldn't present it himself
would be
because of
able
the worthless
to
piece of shit
talk with
politician that hides behind the door.
Is that possible if DJ gets a hold of you, and is he still going to set that up?
Yeah, because I want to meet him.
Because he just said that, like, I'll talk to you, we can speak, I'll give you my card, and now he just took off without giving his card.
No, he's right there. He's a coward. He's a coward. We've already seen that. There you go. Look, I'm more interested in this right now than that piece of shit milquetoast guy. I'm gonna grab 2 of these things. Watch me. I'm gonna grab this too. Look at that. It's all taxpayer funded anyways. Why not? I don't need those.
I expect something to happen.
You ready? Let's get the fuck out of here, man. I'm so pissed off, man.
DJ, you should get it confirmed on camera.
And email you, and I expect that we have a meeting. All right.
Take care.
All right. So you heard that. He's gonna let KDOT have a meeting with him. So I'm gonna be there at that fucking meeting too. And fuck this guy too, man. He's a piece of shit. KDOT did a great job. My heart breaks. You know, you can't help but tear up when those kids were talking about what had happened. Acevedo doesn't give a shit. He's not going to resign. But I tell you what, we're going to put enough pressure on that piece of shit that he will fucking resign at some point. Because the community's had it up to their fucking necks in this nonsense bullshit that we keep hearing all fucking day. And politician over here, you know he's getting ready to become a big time politician because of his fucking answers. He's ridiculous. I appreciate it. You don't appreciate shit, man. Fucking piece of shit. Sorry, I'm a little fired up, man. This is absolutely ridiculous. This is just something else.
It's the classic, I'll do something like give you my card, but then when you walk off behind
Right,
closed doors,
100%.
you don't do anything.
100.
You send someone
100.
else out, or you want
You
someone else
send
to
your
do
little
something.
lackey out to go deal with. Let's just send his secretary out there to deal with KDOT. And poor her, she's just doing her job. I'm not ragging on her. She's just doing her job. But that fucking piece of shit right there, you know, hiding behind closed doors, is a coward, a straight up coward, and deserves to lose his fucking job. So if you're in Aurora and you're watching this, which I know I have a few people in Aurora, vote that motherfucker out. because he's worthless. He's an absolute worthless clown. Gave all kinds of stupid answers. No wonder the community can't stand his ass. Oh yeah, he didn't want to have nothing to do over here, K-Dot. I'm waiting for K-Dot. We'll quickly discuss this. Hey K-Dot, we gotta take off, dude. You wanna go outside and discuss this real quick, or? Okay, all right, I'll be right outside, man. All right, we're gonna go outside. I'm gonna tell you, I mean, I've already told you my fucking feelings on this, but let's go out here and discuss a little bit further. Johnny Bravo's coming with me. It's really dark, guys. I do apologize. There's not a lot of light here, guys, but and the protesters are all out there as well. I'm gonna say this, guys. I'm highly disappointed. I mean, I'm proud of the people of Aurora to stand up to this fucking bullshit. Excuse my language. It's you know, you're gonna get some of that colorful language in this rant that I got. And I'm not looking at chat right now, and I will. I promise you guys I'll look at chat. But this just irritates the hell out of me. You have a DA that refuses to do a fucking thing. You have a piece of shit, goddamn fucking chief that refuses to resign. And now we have K-Dot. What's up, K-Dot? What do you want to say?
Hey guys, hey everybody. Can everybody see me okay? Can you see me all right?
Yeah, I can see you.
Here's the thing. We are going to be setting up a meeting, and you heard on this is why we do video, because this is a tool to hold them accountable. Okay, we will call them, and actually when we call them, we will record this.
Yes.
Okay, and see if we can actually set up a meeting to get the grand jury involved with this, because he can do more stuff. This is not an open and shut. That's it. They investigated. We have nothing. That's bullshit.
Right.
And don't allow your community. To
Ellie says just because you're black doesn't mean we can't see you. Okay.
So that's what I'm talking about. You guys need to really pay attention, not just to the federal government. You need to really pay attention to your local county governments. Okay. This is imperative. That son of a bitch, we voted in to put criminals in jail, and that's also criminals who wear the badge.
Right.
Okay. So we need to try to hold his ass accountable, and I will hold his ass accountable. I don't give a shit if we got to march in his damn office ourselves. We'll make that happen.
It's gonna happen, Razor, whether he wants it or not.
And here's the thing: MLH is correct. Better watch yourself, because I'm telling you right now, you don't want to be on the wrong side of history and fuck up your political career. This is political suicide that he's doing right now.
Right, 100%.
100%.
And that's why he didn't want to have nothing to do with me when I talked to him. You know, because I mentioned that we're gonna vote him the fuck out.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, he has a little snarkling attitude, and I don't really give a shit, because I can give it right back to his ass.
You guys saw that. You guys saw that when K-Dot took the mic, man.
So, at the end of the day, Jordelle, you are important. You are here with us. You are here in our hearts, and we will fight for you, just like we fought for Elijah McClain.
Yep.
This is not over. We're just getting started.
Yep.
We're just getting started.
100%.
And to the mother and the father of Jordelle Richardson, we love you. Our community loves you, and we support you, and we have your back 1,000%.
Yeah, I'm gonna have K-Dot hold this, and I'll give you my final thoughts, and that's it. Okay, here. All right. I'm upset, guys. I do apologize for the language, but sometimes the language is the only way to express yourself.
And it's necessary.
That DA is worthless garbage.
Yeah.
Acevedo is a worthless police chief. He's not going to resign, but we will make him resign. And Acevedo, I know you're watching my video. You will fucking resign before it's all over. I guarantee it. I guarantee that's what's going to happen. So, to Mr. Happy Pants DA, Mr. Snarky Attitude, what I said is true too. We're gonna vote your fucking ass out if we don't get the results. At least a grand jury. Do you understand? That's it, K-Dot. Let's go.
All right.
right, guys, that's it. Sorry, I'm a little fired up over this because it was total bullshit what I saw in there and the bullshit that he gave KDOT. So anyways, I'm gonna end this. You guys have a great evening. I got to drive out of here, navigate, and go get Bernie and all that stuff. So Keeper, yeah, I did force Bernie. No, I'm kidding. There will be more lighthearted streams in the future. I need it, guys, because this is taking a toll on me. But anyways, I love you all. Let's take a breather. Until the next video, I'll see y'all later.